That was kind of perfect timing with that reptile
I know.
face.
I think we need we sort of need like a rock version almost.
Oh yeah, a heavy metal version of the Rugrats thing.
Heavy metal.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Welcome everyone. We're playing something very different today. We decided to have a little look at Rugrats in Paris on the Nintendo 64.
Because, you know, sometimes we just like to relive parts of the childhood that we never had.
Oh, God. Exactly. Try and shed some of that trauma.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I loved the Rugrats as a kid.
I loved it.
And like I even watched like when it came out, like Rugrats Growing Up, which is literally just them like 13, 14 or something.
Oh yeah.
Compared to being like 0 and 1 years old.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's grown up.
Yeah, all grown up. I forgot about that. Yeah, they're in like high school.
Yeah, like they just started high school thing. Yeah, or middle school, whatever it is.
Yeah, middle school sort of thing.
Usually you're a reptile amusement park's a happily place.
Oh my God.
Today, Robo-Snail got the princess trapped in a tower on the volcano. We got to save her.
Wait, this is where Reptar lives. Why doesn't he save the princess?
Reptar doesn't know she's in trouble, but there's a special helmet inside the park that helps you find
Oh my God.
If we get it,
Okay.
tell him what to do.
Well, one thing I was always a little bit confused with Reptar, is because it always seemed like a take on Godzilla.
Yes.
Is Reptar meant to be a good guy or a bad guy? Like, I could never understand. Like, was it Reptar's meant to be is actually meant to be like a bad guy, but because they're children, they like Reptar, and thus he's just a good guy? Like,
He always seems quite celebrated. Like whenever you see media of him and that, like in the Rugrats world, he seems to be the good guy. So, and he seems to have enemies he fights. So I wonder if maybe like the idea is, you know, big bads are coming along, like, I don't know, Mothra and that equivalents. And Reptar is the savior of the day sort of thing. Oh my God.
sort of similar to like what Godzilla is, but more of a sort of cartoony version. Like Godzilla is seen as like a good guy in a lot of media, except for like the first few appearances of like when he's first introduced. But like later on, he comes to become known as the Protector. So Reptar is sort of something similar, I guess. But oh my God, this is Rugrats.
This has got a wonky control scheme. Yes, Rugrats in Paris. If you don't know, it's based upon the film from what I think 2000, Rugrats in Paris.
Yeah, roughly.
Where they go to like they go to Paris and they go to Euro Reptar Land. Yes, yeah, so probably doesn't need much explanation.
And the reason they do this, which I think is great, and they don't touch it because it's all about the babies. They don't touch on this enough. Is that Stu, Tommy's dad, is an inventor and he makes stuff. It's this joke that he's not the best inventor, but he does crap stuff. But the thing is, he actually made like this giant ass movable reptile, like mechanical thing, and they can't fix it, so they have to call the original engineer to come do it. I'm like, dude, how much money would you have got to do that? Like, he must be loaded.
Yeah, I think the idea is that he's not a very good inventor. Like, he is capable, and he does have skill, but he just never comes up with a good idea. Right now, I'm just going to collect some tickets while we babble because it seems like the deal.
The idea seems to be like his brother is the more successful one.
Yes, no, his brother is doing well for himself. Yeah,
but then again, when you think about Stu and like clearly he's an inventor, he's selling stuff, he's making money, and the fact that he builds like this giant mechanical robot thing for essentially the equivalent of Disneyland type thing, and they have to call him out and everything. He's just this engineer. It's like he clearly has money too. It's just that he doesn't portray it in the same way as his brother does, and so it's not like it's almost like his brother and their family are all well off and they do all this stuff, and it's like, no, that's not what he's about. He's like, the money's the money, but the inventions, that's what matters.
It is like, so the first movie and the television show, but the first movie touches on it a bit better. I got a young daughter and I showed her the first movie a little bit back, so I did see a little bit of it. So
a bit more fresh in your mind.
Yeah, exactly. So no, the dad isn't necessarily well off financially, So he seems to struggle with actually making inventions to sell, but he's got skills. The thing is that every now and again he makes something that sells. So he gets into like a windfall, and it's sort of like they make it through off that money for a while, but then, you know, funds start to dwindle again. Because, you know, his brother's whole thing is like, you know, you make no money, you're broke. Because in the first movie, they're having another kid, the hilariously named Dill Pickles, because Pickles is the surname, and they just had to go there. And he sort of has to go at him, you know, like, you don't have enough money, you can't be raising 2 kids, and you know, you need to get a real job and all this, you know, and he has a big falling out because he's all like, no, man, you know, screw working for a corporation, for the man, you know, it's all about inventions and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, he is very much like not about that life whatsoever, but on the same token, he is pretty broke most of the time. It seems like he comes into money every now and again when he hits it with an invention.
Like, did you not know what royalties are? It's like, no, I just sell them for the lump sum.
Maybe.
Yeah.
In the first movie, his whole idea is that he's made like a Reptar stroller that's like really good. Okay, I think I need to go sell these lottery tickets or something. All right, so we got some tickets. We got 24 Reptar control helmet. All right, you need 16 gold tickets. Well, I don't have gold tickets. 35 red tickets for a spy scope. Puzzle piece for 50, Reptar mug for 60, puzzle piece for that, 55, 80.
This is so like
60,
any
50.
amusement park that you go to.
It's a rip-off.
Everything is just overpriced.
Oh my God, okay. I can't afford shit. I've been running around for like 2 minutes, still can't afford a thing. But yeah, the dad is like, he made this like Reptar stroller, and it's like for kids, but he made it like shoot fire and shit. Like, so, you know, he's not too bright, you know, like he could invent that. But obviously that's not a good product for a child.
Comes in handy during the movie.
Oh, I see. And then you come across these things on the ground there. Well, I think the kids get lost in it, and that's the whole thing. And then they have to go find them.
Yeah, and it's lucky that this thing's like half automated. Like,
but the dad is a bit of a drop kick in a lot of ways. Like, I always thought that he must have like a meth addiction or something. Like, he's always so like scruffy and frazzled.
it's caffeine. He quit smoking, and he takes like 10 cups of coffee a day. He misses the one. Ooh.
That's true. He's just on coffee. Plus, to be fair, he's got a young child, so he's probably still barely functioning from the newborn phase, where everything is a blur. Like, and that is a fact. Like where are we going? The newborn stage, like, you think you're doing good, you know, you think you're doing pretty all right, you're getting through it, you know, it's all good. But honestly, you're in a daze. Like, when my daughter was newborn, she was actually quite easy to take care of. And yeah, in a lot of ways. Oh my God, where the hell are we going? Princess Theatre Golf Park, main entrance? Let's go to Ooey Gooey World.
I mean, that just screams we have to, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. And, you know, you think you're doing a pretty good job, but it's funny. Look back at pictures from that time, man. I look like I have somehow woken up from a coma. Like, you were just sleep deprived, barely functioning, you know. You think you're doing fine at the time, but that's because you're somehow managing to still breathe and not collapse under your own weight. But you're not doing fine. So obviously he's got that. And then in the first film, you know, they have another kid, and Dill is like really difficult. He doesn't stop crying. But yeah, I don't know. The guy always looks like he's strung out on meth, honestly. And he pisses away the fortune he makes on it. So is this it? You just got to run around the park collecting these, and then
When we talk about the game itself, like rather than the show it's based from, like it has very much the sort of basic setup that a lot of games,
yes,
from cartoons and sort of stuff had. Like it gave you a setting, you go around and collect things.
Yeah, collectathons.
Yeah, collectathons. You go around and collect things, you know. Sometimes there'd be little other stuff where maybe you'd have to like fight something or maybe do a little race or something like that. But keep the music going, tag a gooey creature to start his tune, get all tunes going to at once to win. Okay,
so there's little mini games you got to do.
Yeah, so like a lot of times little things like this would break it up, but at the end of the day, you're pretty much collecting crap to get to the end goal.
It's like it's how it was. Yeah, collectathons or whatever. I don't know exactly if there's a better name for it, but that's basically what it's all about. It's like they just put you in a recognizable setting and then say, hey, you need to collect these things. What for? Oh, to trade in for these things. To do what? To help you collect more of those things. You know, like, it's sort of how most of these games pan out. It's like in the the 16-bit era, with your Super Nintendo and that. A lot of the tie-in games then were platformers with the exact same formula. The exact same formula. Okay, so this thing says I have to get all of these playing at once to win. I'll be honest, they don't stay on long. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that.
I think it's in order. I think you have to find which one stays on the longest and then go to the next one and then to the next one. So
okay. But to be fair, this is the sort of thing that will keep, a kid entertained. It's familiar. It's a show they like.
It's colourful. You go around, you're moving.
Yeah.
You're collecting things. Let's face it, just the idea of collecting things and stuff is half the reason Fortnite stays alive. Is because a lot of the kids play because it's like, keep playing, collect more shit.
No, exactly. So the idea of collecting things. Oh, damn. All right, the blue does stay on for a long time. The idea of collecting things and having that as an end goal is 100% still a part of gaming. 100%. That is still what you do in a lot of... Yeah, calm down, mate. It's still what you do in a lot of games, is go around doing things in order to earn some form of currency and then to spend, So the blue dude's still going. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, he just stopped.
He's off now. So he's clearly the first one.
I ran out of time.
Well, we don't care anyway. We got the ticket.
Was there a fifth one? Well, I feel like I have
There
to...
must have been a fifth one, surely.
I kind of feel like I have to beat the games, right? All right. Oh, let's see. Help.
Is it a different game?
Yeah, there'd be different games, no doubt. Turn, forward, and back. Okay. Well,
All right, thanks, game.
cheers,
That
game.
helped.
All right, bugger it. We'll go play something else. We're probably only going to be having a one-off go at this rather than playing it right through. So we're not gonna spend too long on the one game.
Yeah, I just thought we just saw it and thought it'd be a fun thing to look
Yeah.
at and just remember our childhood watching Rugrats.
Yeah, that's it. It's in the catalog games. We thought, that'd be fun for a little Raz.
I'm not sure about you, but one of my favorite episodes of Rugrats is when they were all superheroes because they do a few episodes where they show the kids like doing these amazing things from like movies or TV and that, but their imagination.
Yeah, Indiana Jones is at the start of the first film. Yeah, exactly.
And so there's one episode where they're all superheroes and they all have powers and stuff, and they're fighting
Yeah.
Angelica and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And that's one of my favorites because they had superheroes in it.
But no, Rugrats was good like that. They would do like, stuff that exists, even for adults, but obviously they tune it towards like young children. Like, I remember an episode that I enjoyed as a kid was the Ants in Your Pants episode, where Chucky becomes like a music rock star at the playground because he gets ants in his pants and he's jumping around going, I got ants in my pants. And, and everyone thinks it's a song. And then he becomes like this, like, too cool for school rocker. And he like, starts to like distance himself from his friends like Tommy, he's like, Tommy, I'm better than you sort of thing because he's now a big rock star and all this. And it's that classic, like, get famous, forget where you came from sort of thing, but done Rugrat style. And and other times it's like all imagination and it's something so simple and benign, but childlike imagination.
Yeah, because they make it seem so dangerous. It's like, just someone walking a cat or something.
Yeah, that's it. But then, like, the one thing that gets me right is Tommy's always carrying a screwdriver around in his nappy. Like, I mean, how do you change this kid's nappy and not notice that? I've always wondered, like, as a parent now, he gets around like a whole episode with like the screwdriver down his pants and he'd be like pulling it out whenever he needs. And all I can think to myself is, how often are they changing this kid's diaper? Like, is he just walking around like crusted up? You know what I mean? Like, how have they not found this thing already?
I like to think that they're just so innocent that they're like, oh, he just likes his screwdriver. So like they change his nappy and they just put his screwdriver somewhere so he can continue to play with it. And it's like, oh, it's in his nappy again.
I gotta eat pucks and not get knocked away. Which one's my Reptar? Well, he's about to kick my ass. Oh my god. Okay, so it's like air hockey.
Who is this dude?
There's a grown-ass ninja taking on a 1-year-old. Yeah, you feel big, mate? Do you feel big? Do you feel fucking big pushing around a fucking toddler? Not even a toddler. Oh yeah, get wrecked. Imagine getting checked by a 1-year-old. You're pathetic. What would your sensei think?
To be fair, it just looked like his arms and legs have been cut off so he can fit inside this thing. So,
Sure, he's like a quadriplegic, and that's why they think it's fair.
Let's be fair now. Wait, what keeps happening there?
Yeah, I think I'm not allowed to get bumped.
Yeah, he knocked out a point from you, so it's just sitting on the field. I think. So go see if you can pick your point. Oh no, he's knocked out another one.
Oh, he does. He's knocking out points.
Can you just pick them up again?
Oh, is that
No,
what
you
he's
can.
doing?
Oh, stuff this. Just go. Yeah, just go get. Just pick up all the points.
Yeah,
Stuff the puck.
Yeah. At least I know the alphabet.
At least I.
At least I know the alphabet. My God. See, the voices in this are pretty poor. Like during that opening segment, it was particularly obvious. And it's because, you know, the 64 carts, oh, he's going to get that. They could not handle, they did not have, oh, cool. I think I stole his point. They could not have like, you know, big audio files because the carts are so small, you know? I think they only held like 64 meg or something.
Oh, he stole yours.
He did. Although, to be fair, I think I stole a bunch of his. So they've used this voice compression technology, and it does not sound good. Oh, I win. Imagine getting doubled by a child. You bumped, you scored. Reptile loved all those pucks. I won a golden ticket.
Oh, sweet.
So see, you need to do the games to win the golden tickets.
Well, we've got 77 tickets now. We could probably go buy something.
Yeah, I should be able to afford something with 77 tickets. Yeah, I'll try and see if I can round this out to a nice 80 before we're out of here. But Rugrats had like a real undeniable charm to it, you know, like to anyone who didn't actually watch it back in the day. Some you don't get with kids shows anymore, I tell you what.
I feel like the quality. I think like quality has gone down in a lot of media, especially cartoons nowadays, and they've gone for quantity. Because I think that is just part of the way TV is gone now. It's gone to like streaming services and stuff like that for the most part. So people go for far more for quantity and that than quality. Because you look at the quality of like the art and everything that's put into TV of shows when I was a kid, when we were kids growing up and stuff. And then you look at the stuff nowadays and you're just like, nah. There's more shows, but they're not better.
I mean, I'm gonna be a little bit contrarian to that to a degree. But to be fair, as someone who was a child in the 90s, there was a lot of shit. Let's be fair. You had stuff like biker mice from Mars.
Hey, that was amazing. Stuff you, man. That was amazing. That quality. I mean, regardless of what you might say about the storyline for that quality of that art.
The animation was good. Yes,
that was amazing.
Yeah. They did have good style. They did.
And that's where I feel like. That's
a fair point. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a letdown with shows nowadays that say some of the shows now, quality storytelling wise, aren't that different from the 90s and early noughties and that. The problem being is when you don't have that like really good art style to back it up, it suddenly makes the story of that look so much more goofy and so stupid. Whereas at least you have the really cool art style and that you're like, the story's not the best, but hey, it looks cool. You know,
that is true. But you know, there was a load of cartoons like that. You know, there was Street Sharks. You know, the people who were like half shark, half, and they were on motorbikes.
I love Street Sharks. I had the like one like mechanically had a mechanical claw in that, and I had one the bag. Yeah, I had a few of them.
Yeah, I had one as well. The Great White. I had the Great White.
Yeah. What I loved about the show though is like it was called Street Sharks, but my favorite character was the killer whale.
Oh man, I don't even remember.
it's not a shark.
Killer whales are kind of like the world's nastiest sharks. To be fair, they'll mess a shark up any day.
They had it, and the funny thing is, the killer whale was like similar to like the Green Power Ranger. I'm pretty sure in the Power Rangers, like he starts off as like an antagonist but joins them. And then I think one of the sharks is even like a whale shark. He's like the really big buff one. He's like the one that's really strong. It's because he's a fucking whale shark.
Because they're massive.
Yeah.
Get cookie, ninja. Oh my god. Oh, this is not easy on an analog stick.
But you're right. When it comes to cartoons from like the 90s and early,
there was a lot of crap.
Probably 2010. There was a lot of stuff that I guess we do push to the side.
Exactly. You remember the good stuff.
There was also, a lot of them were real gems. But I think, as I said, my biggest thing is like the art style has definitely taken a hit, so that where some shows you'd be like, biker mice, surf sharks. Yeah, some of it seems a bit, it's still very kiddie in the storytelling, but the artwork was like just really cool. Like, wow, look at that. Whereas nowadays it's like, okay, I could probably do that.
Yeah, they're afraid of my cookie skills.
It's
Oh, I got it.
probably waiting for you to move the cursor.
I get to the next round. All right, 900 points. All right, they're moving quick now. But no, it's like music, you know, you sort of when you look at an era, you always look at the good stuff, you know what I mean? So people go like, oh yeah, you know, in the 90s and like, I mean, obviously some of it's per taste, but you know, you had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and you had Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and what else do you have? You had a whole bunch of other shit. Like, you know, you read in Stimpy's and Rocko's Modern Life and all these sorts of things. And a lot of people remember all those. But when it comes to all the crap that was around as well, you forget that. So it's easy to get like rose-tinted glasses. It's like when people go like, oh, music was so much better. Like, you know, way, oh, please be up here. Otherwise I'm going to lose. Was like way better in, you know, the 80s. Music was so good. Like listen to this and listen to that and listen to this. I'm like, yeah, that's all the stuff that stands out. That's all the great stuff. What about all the bullshit one-hit wonders, absolute garbage that was released? You don't remember that, you know?
But well, here's the thing though. A lot of the one-hit wonders were that was it. They were one-hit wonders for a reason, and they're still listened to. Like a lot of the one-hit wonders, like it's a great song. It's like yeah, they released shit afterwards, but yeah, that's why they were one-hit wonders.
But even then, there was so much stuff that was just generic, churned out crap in every generation. There's so much crap in the 70s. 80s, 90s, it's just easy to push it aside. I mean, I'm still enough of a boomer to say that it's still better than music today. But you know what I mean? It's easy. Like a lot of people go like, oh, all the music was great. It's like, no, all the music we've remembered collectively from that time period is great. But there was a lot of shit that you have forgotten.
I also think it's easier. I also think it's easier nowadays to go ahead and... Oh, no. Sorry, did not score enough.
Damn it. I missed that last ninja.
I was just going to say, I think it's easier nowadays as well to come across bad music because
yes, that is true.
It is so much easier to make and produce and release music nowadays.
SoundCloud
you can actually find a lot more music in genres and in themes that you like, but vice versa, you can also come across far more music that you don't like. And when it comes to like mainstream music and stuff, unlike back in the day with the radio and all this stuff where people did try to play a little bit more of this and a bit more of that, I think a lot of it nowadays that they just stick to what's safe and what is just...
It's because they're all owned by the same fucking people.
Yeah.
Heart Radio or whatever.
And when you think about people going like, oh, why doesn't anyone take a chance with these bands? It's like, well, they do, but they just don't do it on radio. They do it on podcasts, or they
you'll find it on YouTube and Spotify.
YouTube and that. So like they're still there, but the media of radio is no longer the one and only thing. All right, well, I think maybe to wrap it up with this episode, let's go see what we can buy. I got 111 tickets. Let's go and see what goodies Tommy can get.
It'd be like that episode of The Simpsons. You gotta get a giant mustache or a mustache comb. You know, this park isn't doing well. I don't think it's gonna hold up. You know, I just don't see this being financially viable. There's like no one here. There's the odd ninja, but other than that, it doesn't get much patronage.
Hello, Itchy and Scratchy Land open for business.
All right, I did see a thing for the spy scope. Basketball for 80. You know what? We're going to buy the spy scope. And we're going to get a Reptar doll because that just seems cool.
A Reptar doll because exactly. Why not? Why wouldn't you if you could?
You know one thing from this show, right? I always wanted a Reptar bar. They looked so good in the cartoon. You know, whenever the kids got like a Reptar bar and they bit into it and had all that like gooey green stuff, man, I wanted a Reptar bar so bad. But I remember being so let down once. There was like... I actually remember being in this place when I was a kid and they had a Reptar chocolates, right? And I was like, the moon. I was like, oh my God, a Reptar bar. I get to have a Reptar bar. It was just chocolate with like, you know that mint you get that's like crystallized?
Yeah.
Crunchy. Yep. Like if anyone out there's ever had like who makes it? It's like the people who make Kit Kats or whatever, that mint crisp. It's like little shards of glass almost, but mint, and it's real crunchy. I don't know what the hell is happening right now. I'm looking at... Okay. What?
Pictures, yeah.
Okay, we're just looking at some pictures. And that's that, I guess.
That's the spyglass. Yay!
interesting. And yeah, and I was expecting this like big, like gooey green inside, and I bit into it and it was crunchy glass mint, which I don't like at all, even though I like mint. And I remember that to this day. You know what I mean? That's like a cool memory. Put that shit in there.
I couldn't remember what except the fact that it was chocolate with some sort of like hard lolly-like substance sprinkled through. And I agree. I'm not a fan.
It was horrible.
When I was a kid, I had it. I was like, I would have preferred it just to be plain chocolate.
Exactly. I wanted.
Why have you ruined it?
In the show, they bite into it, and it's clearly got this like big green, thick, gooey center, and it like strings out and oozes. And I wanted that. And instead, all I got was a Reptar-shaped mint crisp, which I hate. It was absolutely the worst. And anyway, on that mild childhood trauma, that is probably a good place to leave it for this episode.
Yes. Hopefully everyone liked our rant about Rugrats and that, the fun that the show is. And hopefully, if you've also had a Reptar bar in the real world, you weren't as disappointed as we were. But if you were, let us know in comments. Otherwise, that's been us. Please like, subscribe. We do have a lot more sort of more normal stuff, maybe, I guess you could say, on our channel, if you want to watch. Thank you, everyone. That's been To Be Continued.
To Be Continued. We'll see you next time.